Welcome, members of the Ag Health Benefits Alliance, to your second of 3 micro trainings for your new members portal, which will extremely help you out in all of your compliance and HR needs for your company. Being that it's the second one, we're going to jump right into some product here and walk through some of the apps that I streamlined in the first micro learning. More specifically, the HR apps, some of the compliance apps. We're going to jump through the handbook, and I'll talk briefly on the HR hotline. So if you recall, once again, navigation side, left-hand side, everything's there for you with drop-down boxes, or you can search through the search bar, widgets down at the bottom, smart content in between, and your compliance notifications right there up top, right? But for today, like I said, we're going to focus more on specifically HR apps. So if you are an owner wearing multiple hats, if you are an HR professional inside of the business and need some more tools at your disposal, here's where you can go, now in your own portal, 24/7. So when we're talking about onboarding, bringing on new employees, there's a lot of different documents that take place and that are delivered. This will help you create all of those, from total compensation statement builders, right? Job descriptions if you want to post online, HR self-assessment tools, phone interview questions if you really want to tailor in your prospect, and performance review builders. Very easy to use. They're wizard-based widget applications that we'll just click through. And to show you how easy, we're going to go through the employee cost calculator. So if you want to show an employee how much it really costs your company to bring them on, this is where you can go and deliver it before they sign the new paperwork to come on board. Started, we will get this. When you type in the job title, the drop-down box will be activated for you, so you can really tailor in that. For today, we're just going to say sales. And you can start plugging in some of these numbers, depending on what this is. We'll put in 20. And then you can really dive into the benefit program that Ag Health has helped you bring on. Well, these numbers will change, obviously, but for today's purposes, let's do this. There's compensation. We'll already plug in some of the base rates, the generic rates that we know you have to pay, from Social Security down to Medicare and all the different taxes that are associated as being a business owner. So you can leave that in or tweak it depending on what your state is doing. If you have a 401k plan, you could also put that into as a match. And going down, here's a bunch of the different screens that you can also add in. But you'll see that it automatically tallies it at the bottom. Push next. Here's a couple of different default values if you want to bring in paid time off. You can put that in there too, as far as holidays, sick leave, and whatever you guys govern, being the owner of your own company. Once again, updates it up at the bottom. And we get to the summary page where you'll be able to look over for the last time all of the different inputs that you've plugged in. From there, one easy click, next, and you can either save it, print it, email it. But for today's purposes, we're going to save it as a PDF. And instantaneously, you have another output that you can give to your potential employee coming on board to show exactly how much it costs the company to employ them. Okay, very easy to do. And when we get back to these HR apps, all of these apps inside of this section are as easy, right? Just click, point, put in some information, and you're good to go. Moving down the line onto the compliance apps, here's a couple of different places if you needed to have federal poster advisors, right? I know that times are changing with COVID, and the water break room isn't necessarily what it once was, but if you still are focusing on brick and mortar and need to be compliant with all of the federal posters that are going on through DOL, OSHA, whatever the governing body may be, this is where you can go, and we'll tell you based off of what your exposure is and what posters need to be listed at all times. If you're above 100, right, over ACA type of guidelines, this is where you can enter in all of your 65, 56 workbooks and take care of that. Let's go into the notices. A lot of these are created by your team at Ag Health. But if you want to jump into here just to show you what it is, the health plan compliance calendar is a very hot topic or a hot app right now for a lot of our partners who use the system. Based off of the size of company, number of employees, all of that, you'll be able to jump in here and view what you need to take care of at what each time. So I'm not going to go through on this one, but I do recommend jumping into the compliance calendar, tailor it to your company, fill out this information, and at the end, I'll bring it back here, it'll update your home screen with everything you need to know. So if something comes down the pipe, you're obviously not in Rhode Island, but as of July 21st, right, electronic distribution is there. You'll know this is what needs to be done from a compliance standpoint. Here's information on it. Here's a video. And this is what you need to put up in either your water break room or deliver to your employees. So important to get in there. LMS, we're going to talk about, that's a learning management system where you can assign courses to your employees, whether it be fire safety, sexual harassment, ergonomics, whatever it may be. We have over 200 courses in the LMS. We're going to cover that in the third micro learning. We are going to skip down to the handbooks because when we start talking about compliance and making sure employees are all on the same page, I think it starts with the initial act of having them sign the handbook. If you don't have a handbook, typically before you'd have to go to a lawyer and it could charge up to $2,000, right? And then if you have changes throughout the year with compliance, California comes down the pipe with a lot of different rules, you would have to once again do it. So here's a place where you can store your own handbook, create your own handbook, and duplicate it. If you have multi-locations, multi-state, it's also very easy to use in that situation too. So just to get this going, you click the Build Handbook. We'll just say today's purposes, because I'm in Arizona, we're going to put that. And from there, you can start adding your logo, whatever you want the handbook headers to look like, and really tailor it to your company's branding. This obviously is a legal document, so you want to make sure that you're putting in how you want that to look for your employees to sign. We're going to keep it as handbook and company for right now. And then we open it up. So you'll notice that this is extremely robust. We have everything under the sun that you would want to think about. But just know that we would just wanted to make you have access to at least 95% of what you would need from a template standpoint, and you could choose to include or exclude anything, right? So when we get down to the intro, here's where you can edit it, the actual name of the intro. Here's the sections under the intro. If you want to create these sections and put them into your handbook, all you'll do is click start, and that works all the way down through general workplace policies. You'll see how many sections there are in there. Through technology policies, social media, email, safety, substance abuse, discrimination and harassment, which is obviously a very top of mind topic in California right now. This is where you can add in your harassment policy, that making sure everyone's on the same page and employees know exactly what's expected of them and that everyone deserves to work in a safe environment, but it doesn't stop there. So you're going to have it in your handbook, and then in the next micro learning, we're going to show you how to train them on that too. Working hours, time and leave. We're going to skip down a few all the way down to payroll. So you don't have to use all of these. You can use some of it and not the rest, but just to show you, if you click start, it'll ask you a couple of questions based off of your group, and then you could get into the real copy, the nitty gritty of this. So if you want to include all of this, awesome, just hit approve. If you want to change any of the copy, hit edit. You can jump in there and change anything that you want, okay? Main thing is that everyone's on the same page. Just put it on paper, and at the end of this, your employees are signing it. So we're going to jump out of there. And finally, because I don't want to keep everyone's time for right now, we're going to jump into the HR hotline. So when you're back on your hand screen, once again, everything on the left-hand navigation bar, if you wanted to talk to one of our HR professionals over here, if you had a question on hiring and firing, if you couldn't find the information or were just lost and wanted some reassurance, this is where you go, HR hotline. You could call, email, submit the question in the chat, and our HR professionals are going to send you back information based off of what you need. So it could be hiring and firing. What should you do as far as warnings? They will send you back the applicable content that you need to make sure. So if it's warning policies, just to show you, you'll probably get back something in here if you just don't know where to find it. But how to implement first written warnings. They'll send you this, right? So if you have a problematic employee, there's the process to make sure that everything is documented correctly. So if a firing takes place or termination, that everything is compliant and you don't get an EPLI claim coming back. So after the first written notice, to the second written notice, to eventually termination. But all of our professionals will help you. You can either call, email, chat, and they'll get you back everything you need. So that's going to conclude today's second micro learning. I hope you found this useful and helpful. But no, whenever you have questions, I'm going to pull this one screen back up. Here is a contact place where you can call us if you have any functionality questions over at Zywave. The portal's not working properly or whatever it may be. Here's the number that you can call, 866-499-9283. One of our support specialists will help you through it. Have a great day, and I'll see you on the third micro learning.